Nintendo's not having a good time of it recently, as their stocks have taken a little bit of a dip of about 16% in 5 days. And who are analysts blaming? Well, the reception to their newest mobile game, Super Mario Run. Now, on Monday, their shares dropped 7.1% according to the Wall Street Journal, and this made it the 5th day in a row that their share price had taken a hit. Now, analysts said to the journal that despite the hype surrounding the game Super Mario Run previous to its release, which had actually spiked Nintendo's shares as investors went full in on the game, negative reviews post-release were obviously a major point of concern. Now, what are the concerns people have, I might hear you ask? Well, one of them is the $9.99 price point. Now, you could argue that people are quote-unquote spoiled by the relatively cheap prices of games on the mobile store of iOS, and it's an argument with some validity. A lot of games are really, really cheap, so $10 is a lot. However, it's not just a comparison issue. $10 is a lot for a runner game. Just because it's Mario, it's still expensive for a runner game. I would say $5 is probably more reasonable, but again, this is the price they've chosen, and it's probably having a knock-on effect. Analysts are also concerned about the lack of new content that Nintendo might or might not bring to Super Mario Run, and of course that's a very sort of speculative concern, but it is a concern that analysts do have nonetheless. And you might say, wait, Amata, didn't Super Mario Run do really well and is the top downloaded game on the App Store in North America? That's true, but it failed to reach the top charts in Japan. And when Pokemon Go was released, it remained one of the top downloaded games worldwide for weeks, and was also mostly to thank for a huge jump in Nintendo's stock price, and they saw more than $100 million in operating profit between July and September. Now, of course, Pokemon Go is at an advantage here, because it's only been out, that came out ages ago, and Super Mario Run has only been out since December the 15th. So we've got a fairly limited amount of data for Super Mario Run, but even if you look at the sort of snapshot of the start, Super Mario Run, while it's doing well, is not doing well as Pokemon Go, and there are some negative reviews surrounding it. And one of the other things that is undoubtedly coming into play here is the always online component. Now, I have to wonder what Nintendo were thinking when they thought an always-online component for a mobile game was a good idea. Having a multiplayer-esque component or leaderboards or something like that, that's fine, but have a single-player offline mode or something, because, well, the underground is a thing that exists. The subway is a thing that exists. And, trains exist where, sometimes when I'm on a train to work in the morning or whatever, I'll lose signal for a little while as we're going fast and we're in between signal spots or whatever. Or, again, if you're in the underground, no signal. There's plenty of instances where you might be travelling and not have access to a reliable signal. So, them having always online in a mobile game does seem a bit puzzling, to say the least. Now, Nintendo's reasonings for the always online connection are a bit thin, to be honest, as the reasons are, quote, access to other users' play data and scores from automatically generated Toad Rally challenges, in-game events or offer players new challenges from more to limited time, linkage to a Nintendo account to access save data from multiple devices. For example, if players have Super Mario Run on their iPhone and iPad, they can share one save file across the different devices. However, the save data cannot be used on different devices at the same time. However, there are various games that have similar features, but they just update those things when you have an internet connection. They don't require you to be constantly online and boot you out of the game if you drop connection, which is obviously the better way to do it. Having leaderboards and stuff and challenges, that's fine, but just do it in the way of like, oh, you don't have an internet connection right now, that's okay. We'll just update your score or whatever it happens to be when you have a connection, rather than booting you out of the game the second you drop out because you went underground or in a tunnel or in a bad signal area or what have you. And of course, let's not forget, you can't play this on the plane, for example. You can't have a Wi-Fi connection when you're flying, most likely. So I think it's the always online connection that is causing a lot of negativity surrounding the game. That and the premium price tag as a rather, shall we say, dastardly combination. So it seems this plus the analysts' concerns are resulting in a drop for Nintendo stock prices. There's a wonderful article from TechCrunch which shows some interesting graphs and stuff of all this. If you want to take a look, it's linked in the description below this video. I suggest you give it a read if you're at all interested. Hopefully we can obviously see Super Mario Run be on sale for a bit longer and get some real data to compare it to the success of Pokemon Go, because of course it's only been out a few days, so it's a little bit unfair to compare the two, but still, it is an interesting picture that we can get nonetheless. Let me know your thoughts and opinions as always, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.